Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a look into the conversations happening over on the Arnipal social subreddit.
Yeah, it's quite a mix.
We've got some really fascinating personal stories here, giving us a real glimpse, into the emotional world of this online Nepali community.
Mm-hmm.
Our focus, well, we're looking at heartbreak and moving on, the buzz around fandom and those misconnections.
Always painful.
Right. And then foodie debates, surprisingly revealing stuff there, and also friendship dynamics.
So the mission today is really to pull out some relatable insights from all these different posts.
Exactly. See what makes this community tick.
It's pretty amazing how platforms like Reddit become these digital meeting places, people sharing really personal things right alongside, lighter stuff.
Totally. It gives you a real feel for the spectrum of daily life.
Okay, so where do we start?
Right, let's get into it. First up, a really poignant one from Adept Challenge 1Fiend17. It's titled, Losing a Bit of Yourself in Relationships.
Oof. Yeah, that title alone.
It really hits home. They talk about the emotional toll of repeated heartbreak in, serious relationships.
And they detail the effort. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Putting in the work, communication, understanding, pushing their own boundaries, apologizing quickly.
All the things you're sort of told make a relationship work.
But they keep finding themselves being the one left when it ends. That feeling of giving so much.
And still ending up alone. That's rough. What really stood out to me was the bit about sharing vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Opening up your inner world and then having that trust broken again and again. That's got to take a huge toll. It chips away at you.
Absolutely. That feeling of lost innocence and love.
Yeah.
It's relatable, but maybe feels even stronger in tighter communities where there's more social pressure around relationships.
Could be, yeah. Expectations can be high.
And they mention those little things, the painful memories, like promises of, I won't ever leave you.
Ouch.
It leads to questioning yourself, right? Am I not enough for someone to stick around for?
And then seeing peers hit milestones like marriage.
Yeah, that just rubs salt in the wound, makes you feel left behind.
They even mentioned being exhausted from trying to be the love they wanted.
That part really struck me. Trying so hard to embody the ideal partner.
It says a lot about wanting connection, but it also points to, the need for reciprocity, doesn't it?
Definitely. If one person's always the main giver.
It's just not sustainable. Leads to burnout if the other person isn't meeting you halfway, investing too.
And the post ends on this note of, acknowledging that loss of the perfect view of love.
Yeah.
It's more complicated now, tinged with hurt.
But not giving up entirely. There's still that flicker of resilience.
Yeah, won't give up on love entirely. It's very raw, very honest.
And the comments reflect that supportive side of the community, too. People like I See Dark 7646 suggesting self-love, setting boundaries.
Kind of shifting the focus inward, yeah.
And Starry Moon 118 talking about learning from it, seeing it as growth.
It shows how these online spaces can actually foster a sense of shared experience,
Definitely. Okay, so a complete change of pace now.
Totally shifting gears. We're jumping into the world of fandom excitement. User EastPublic7909 posted something like, I can never be this lucky.
Okay. What happened?
Apparently, their heroes, Tom Hiddleston and Willem Dafoe, the Marvel actors, were supposedly visiting Nepal.
Wow, okay. Big names.
And this user was just gutted about potentially missing them.
Oh, the agony. You can feel it, right? A self-described big Marvel fan. The idea of them being right there.
Especially Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin himself.
Right.
Like maybe seeing them in Buddha or Patan. The possibility alone.
Yeah, that FOMO fear of missing out must have been intense. It shows how global pop culture connects people, even in specific local online groups.
For sure. They were saying they don't have plans to go abroad, but the stars are practically on their doorstep.
And they were going to try and spot them the next day?
Yep. Determined. And if people were speculating in the comments, too, maybe they were there for a movie about Everest.
Or that Tenzing Norgay Sherpa documentary idea.
Right. That adds another layer, connecting global celebs with local icons.
Makes it even more exciting for local fans, definitely.
And the comments were just pure fan energy. People sharing the feelings. Someone even had a line ready to say to them.
Haha, classic. And the glorious purpose comment for Loki.
Perfect. It's that shared language of fandom.
There was that little exchange, too, about whether meeting celebs is actually a big deal.
Oh, yeah, with Yes Nook Maybe 7.
And the original poster explaining the sheer joy for a longtime fan. It shows those different perspectives on what fandom means to people.
For some, it's a huge connection. For others, maybe not so much.
Exactly. Okay, now for something completely different again. Food.
Yes. Let's dive into dating and food preferences.
Yeah.
This one's from Slow Quantity 6389 titled Made Fun of for Eating Chhoila Chiura.
Okay, Chhoila Chiura. Spicy marinated meat, usually buffalo, and beaten rice. A Newari classic.
Yep, staples. And they were talking about their favorite spot, a local kaja gar, like a traditional snack place near their college.
So a local eatery.
Right. Described it really positively. Friendly owner, got discounts, great food, specifically the Chhoila Chiura, just a comfy, homey vibe.
Sounds lovely. Simple, authentic. You can tell they really value that kind of experience. Not just the food, but the whole atmosphere.
Totally. But the date they mentioned this to, not impressed.
Oh.
Apparently the date laughed at the idea of Chhoila Chiura at a kaja gar, made the user feel judged.
Ouch. What did the date prefer?
Walnut Bistro, which the poster saw as more aesthetic,
Mm.
For
Yeah.
the gram.
Ah, the aesthetic trap. That really puts the clash in perspective, doesn't it? Valuing authenticity versus maybe social media presentation.
Exactly. The user explicitly said they prefer comfy, real places over spots, just for showing off online.
It really taps into that whole influence of social media on dating and just choices in general. Curating experiences for online eyes.
And the user felt maybe that's a bit of a trend, valuing the grammable spot.
Yeah, it's a relatable feeling, being uncomfortable with that pressure, wanting something more genuine.
Then they wondered if maybe there's a gender thing, suggesting women might seek novelty more, men stick to favorites, and linked it to being single.
Generalizations about gender are always tricky, but the core point about differing values impacting compatibility, that's real.
For sure. Even small things like where you enjoy eating can show bigger differences.
Shared values matter.
And the comments were interesting. Lots of love for Chhoila Chiura. Hits harder than any overpriced food, one said.
Chhoila is love. Chhoila is life. Can't argue with that passion.
Though someone else just didn't like Chiura, fair enough.
And there were other stories, like someone's girlfriend reacting negatively to wanting to eat in Bhaktapur.
We're being called rote, which is a term sometimes used pejoratively for indigenous groups, implying maybe uncultured for liking local street food.
Wow. So food preferences can get tangled up with social status or cultural identity perceptions.
Seems like it. It shows how complex even food choices can be.
And then there was that one comment questioning the original poster too, right?
Yeah, Barbad Vayo basically said, aren't you judging the aesthetic places just like they judged yours?
Good point. A reminder to check our own biases.
Always. Okay, one more theme to unpack. Friendships.
Right, this one from Alec Dinkalagyako was about differences in how male and female friends share things.
Yeah, they describe female friendships as therapeutic, where friends readily spill the day's events, that whole Pasaza Jagabayo, which means like, you know what happened today.
That immediate sharing.
Contrasted with finding it harder to get male friends to open up, even about big things like a breakup.
And that comment, Kayur is the goat word. Kayur being like, I don't know, man. That sort of vague, non-committal response.
Exactly. That feeling of hitting a wall sometimes.
The poster also mentioned female friends might share dream details if they're romantically interested.
It's specific, but okay. And that female friends might rant and go, maybe not talk daily, but still be there for support.
Like a reliable, if not constant, connection.
Yeah. The user wished for more of that shared, perfectly brewed tea vibe in all friendships, just easy sharing.
They also mentioned getting annoyed by friends who lecture instead of listening.
Oh, give those really unhelpful replies like, "Eho, oh, really?"
Yeah.
Or just NPC replies, like talking to a background character in a game.
Haha. Yeah, wanting genuine engagement, not just platitudes.
Though someone else, Strong Jury 196, chimed in saying their male friends are actually more talkative.
So it's not universal, obviously. Experiences vary.
Of course. And there was a funny bit about posting time, being impatient.
Right, adds a touch of personality.
So, yeah, from heartbreak's vulnerability to fandom's highs and lows, food fights and dating, and how we talk to our friends.
It's quite a slice of life from our Nipple Social.
It really is. You see the raw emotion, the shared interests, the little everyday struggles with taste and social stuff playing out.
And what's fascinating is how these different threads, connection, disappointment, identity, communication, weave together their universal themes, but playing out in this specific online Nepali space.
Yeah, with its own cultural nuances, it really makes you think about how vital these online platforms have become, doesn't it, for sharing stories, finding people.
Absolutely, for navigating modern life within a particular cultural frame.
So a final thought maybe for you listening. How do these online spaces let us share so much? And What do these stories, these unfiltered glimpses, tell us about wider cultural trends or just our own individual struggles?
Yeah, what can we actually learn from seeing these little windows into each other's lives online? Definitely something to chew on.